Good day, friends. It is me, HLModTech, and I've got the urge to create a Codeblocks turkey. So, my friends, let's get cracking. So, friends, the first thing we need to do is click on Codeblocks. Then we're going to choose Create a New Code Block. And with the little window that pops up, we are going to hit Create New Design. Let's start by naming our file. And this one's going to be called Turkey with our initials. When you click to make it permanent, we need to move to modify and create a new object. You always have to bring these out. Never duplicate your objects because it breaks things. We're going to rename it, and the first thing we're going to do is create the turkey's body. We start building with shapes, and we are going to be the masters of the sphere today. When you bring a sphere out, I need you to change it to a turkey brown, and let's choose a new radius. I want you to type the number 15. And if we hit play, you'll see it pop on the screen. Notice it's at 0, 0, so we need to raise it up. We're going to raise it up 15 plus 10, so we've got room for legs. When you bring out the move command, remember that Z needs to be at least 15. We're going to change it to 25. And when you hit play, boom, your turkey is in the air. If we look at it from a corner, you'll notice it does not look like a turkey body. We're going to fix that with the sweet scale command. All we are going to do is type 1.5 and hit play, and boom, it looks a little bit more like a turkey's body. To make this fun and fast, I want you to just duplicate that sphere and set it down below. This is going to be the neck as well. You can adjust these numbers after you've built the original one, but right now I just want you to put your move at 5 and 40. And I want you to make your scale 0.4 and 0.4 and keep the 1. We're going to bring out a rotate command. And I want you to put that rotate underneath, keep the X, but change this to 45. And then we're going to still use the pivot of 0, 0, which we can find on the math. When you hit play, your little turkey will all of a sudden have a neck out in the front. How cool is that? Let's quickly duplicate this sphere again. We are going to throw away the rotate, which is a good skill to learn. Notice if you put your mouse right on top of the trash can, it throws it away. We're going to change our move to 0 and then negative 40, and let's change that Z to 42. We are going to make the scale 0.5, 0.5, and 0.3, and press enter. Let's speed up the drawing, and let's hit play and see what we made. As you can see, that is a decent little turkey body. I'm going to move this off to the side. I'm going to go back to modify, and right now, let's create a turkey eye. So notice I am putting this below the first object. We're going to hit rename, and then this is going to be called the eye. We can use this same sphere and its code to make the eyeball. When you click it, let's start by making it white, and let's change its size to 3. So now that we've got the first part of the eye, let's duplicate and set it down for a minute. This scale is garbage, so once again, let's practice using the trash, because this is the actual size we want for our first eyeball. Our second eyeball, we are going to keep these same numbers for the inside of the eye. Of course, we're going to make this black, but then these scales are going to make it so that it shows up out in front like we want. All we need to do is raise it up a little higher, so I'm going to do 3.5. And then I'm going to move it forward, negative 1.5. I'm going to leave this 0.5, 0.5, but I'm going to make this 0.5 as well, so they match. When we hit play, let's see what our little eyeball looks like. I am looking at the back, so we have to look at it from the front to see how cool it looked. Let's change that to negative 2 instead and hit play. And my friends, you have got an awesome little turkey eyeball. Let's quickly use the create group and make sure multicolor is on. And now that eyeball has been built. Let's quickly create a leg. Once again, bring out an object. I'm going to move this to the side, and I'm going to make sure that my object is below the body. I'm going to rename it, and we're going to call it leg. Alright friends, so you notice I've moved my leg and this object over, so now there's more room to play. You can slide this slider so that your screen looks just the way you want. We want to duplicate this part that we used for our sphere on our body. We're going to change it to a turkey color, or a turkey leg color. I'm going to use that yellow, and I am going to set the radius to 2. Under the move, I want it to be 0, and then I'm going to tell you that we're going to make it 7 high on Z. For the scale, we're going to set it to 1, 1, and I want you to make this one 4. When you hit play, you'll see that we have a turkey, and we've got an eyeball in the middle of that leg. We're going to just ignore that eyeball, though, and let me show you how easy it is to duplicate our leg part and turn it into toes. Toes are thinner, so first we're going to change the radius to 1, and then we're going to change our moves to 0, -3, and 0. And we need to change our scales to 1, 3, and 1. Real quickly, if we hit play, boom, we've got a toe poking out. Still, ignore the eyeball. Duplicate, add it down below. We need toes pointing left and right. We're going to do that with a simple adjustment. Go to your modify and bring out a rotate. We're going to rotate around Z. That means when you're looking down at the top, you'll see this twist. And we're going to rotate 30 degrees. We also need to nudge this little toe over, so we're going to put a number 2 here. We're going to duplicate that. It still needs to be around Z, but this one is going to be -30. And then we want to go -2 degrees. Now when you hit play, you'll notice that you almost instantly created a little foot. I think my leg is a little too fat, so I'm going to change that to 0.8. This is what's so fun about this, is you can make modifications and change it in just a few moments. I'm going to take that leg and make it a group. Real quickly, let's try a new command. Let's do right click and choose collapse blocks. Notice this makes it a lot easier to see. I'm going to use my slider to move over and grab my eye. I'm going to put my finished blocks, leg and eye, over here, and we're going to create a new object called feather. Rename and feather, F-E-A-T-H-E-R, and tell it OK. We're going to create one feather, and we're going to use it many times. We are going to add that sphere again by duplicating. Notice I went by the color blue. Now that I got that first part started, I'm going to expand my blocks, because then it's easier to work on them. I'm going to move this over, and I'm going to move this over so now we can see our feather. I'm going to make my first feather red, just because I think that's kind of fun. Let's change our radius to 3. And friends, let's set our numbers to 0 and 0. And let's scale it so it looks like a feather. And friends, let's make our scales of 1, 0.3, and 5. When you press play, you will see that you've instantly created one little adorable feather, and now it's time to build a turkey. So friends, we need to click Create New Object, and we need to name it Turkey. Notice I'm putting this below all the other objects because we're going to use those parts. You cannot have the turkey above these or it'll break them. The first part we're going to use is the body. So we're going to do add a copy of the body. When we are done adding it, we are going to delete the original one. This is an important step because it'll get it out of the way. We delete objects with a delete object, and then we're going to go to that variable again, and we're going to delete the body. The next thing we're going to do is add a copy of the eye. Now when we add the copy of the eye, we're going to have to move it to the correct location. So let's first grab the copy of the eye. And remember right now it's at 0, 0. We want to move it way out here on the y-axis. And when we get it up to the right height, then we'll move it left or right. So let's bring out our move. And let's guess -40, because I remember we moved our head out quite far like that. We can also look at our numbers of -40, and that also gives us a height of 42. Since I know this is -40, I'm going to try -45 for our first guess. When we hit play, after it draws, you'll see that eye pokes out and is in the center of our turkey's head. Let's put a 2 there and hit play and see if we like that better. That's pretty awesome. You can change this with a scale if you want to make it a little different. I am just going to duplicate, and I'm going to make the second one at -2. Once I've got both eyes added, then I'm going to delete the original eye by bringing out a delete object and putting it down below. This cleans up the mess that's in the feet. When we hit play, our turkey draws, our 2 googly eyes are silly and awesome, and it's time to start doing legs. Once again, the system is simple. We are going to add a copy of the object. Our object is going to be the leg. Find your leg, pick your move. I'm going to just move mine to the right, and I'm going to go 3. Let's hit play and see if we like that. I think that's reasonable. I'm going to duplicate that, and if I went +3 for the first, I'm going to do -3 for the second. You can see right now there are 3 legs, and that's because we haven't done the delete object we do when we're done cleaning up. All those times your mom said clean up your room, we also have to clean up our code. There is our 2-legged turkey. You can adjust those as needed. Now it's finally time to do the tail feather. We are going to follow those same steps to add a copy of the object. Always find your object in the data. So there is my feather. So let's track down that move command. Friends, let's draw that at 22 back, and let's go 40 high and see how that looks on our awesome turkey. That is not too bad. It is attached, and it's a 1-feathered turkey. Let's add more feathers. Start by choosing right-click duplicate, and now we need to add a rotate. I'm going to move it 2 to the right, and we're going to rotate around Y, and we're going to rotate it 10 or 15 degrees. I'll let you pick. When you hit play, boom, you will see that you have 2 awesome feathers. I want my feathers to be different colors, so I'm going to do this manually, and I'm going to make that one orange, and then I'm going to duplicate that whole pair, keeping this one orange, but I'm going to make it go -2, and then I want that rotation to be -15. When you hit play, you will see that your turkey is all of a sudden a many-feathered turkey. Make sure you leave this feather alone as he's by himself, so we can quickly grab and duplicate both of those feathers, move down below and connect them. Pick a different color. I'm going to go with a goofy green, and then just adjust your numbers. I'm going to make these -4 and +4, and then I'm going to change my rotation instead of 15 to 30. Now we could have solved this with some variables, but to get the many colored feathers, you kind of have to do it using brute force. Alright friends, you can use that technique to add as many feathers as you want. Just always move it a little bit and change the rotation a little bit for the pair of feathers. When you are done with the feathers, make sure you delete the original feather. We're going to drop that down below, grab the variables, and bring out the feather. You may notice our little buddy does not have a beak. Let's add that real quickly with the shapes. I'm going to bring out a pyramid. Friends, we're going to arrange this with a rotate. And let's drop our 0, 0 for the math in there right now. And then we are also going to go back to modify, and we are going to do a move and a scale. Let's make our move -50, so it's going to come out towards the front. And let's make our height 42 like we've used a couple times. And let's change our scale to 0.25, 0.5, so this way it'll stick out further, and 0.25. When you hit play, you will all of a sudden have an adorable little turkey that has a goofy beak to go along with it. Friends, there's a ton of room for you to add to this. You could add little wings on the side of them using spheres. You could add his little waddle. You can add all the pieces that would make your turkey the coolest ever on this Thanksgiving. Remember, when you're done, if you're in my classroom, I need a screenshot. If you want to see something cool, though, you can create the animated GIF, and you can send that to me as well. Just note, it does take a minute or two for it to get created. Yours may save automatically. Yours may save automatically to your downloads folder. I have to click downloads and pick that location for it. Friends, I hope you had a ton of fun with this, and if you make something awesome, I hope you take time to share it with me. You can find me at HLModTech on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. You can also just send me a Gmail at HLModTech. Lastly, you can visit the HLModTech.com website and get in contact with us there. Friends, if you did enjoy the video, please give it a like. If you got a question, comment, or a suggestion, add it down below. If you haven't subscribed before, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button, and last but not least, hit that notification bell if you want to be the first to know when there's a brand new video from me, HLModTech. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.